But several people have asked about printing an individual report, particularly for Read to Achieve, and so I'm going to go through the steps and processes for doing that this morning. When you log into SchoolNet, you're going to go to Classrooms, and then you're going to go to Student Performance. When you do that, if you're assigned to a school, your school should be there. I am going to choose Don Steep, since it's the first elementary school on here. And then I'm going to select a section, and we'll start with Miss Baker's section here. And then it's going to ask me which course of that she teaches, and so I'm going to go with her language arts class, her first one. And then after that, I do have a couple of options, and we're going to actually go to the student list because we want some individual student information. And we want benchmark results, so if you'll notice it says view by, and we want benchmark results, and you see that there are some benchmark results there. And so what we are going to do is go ahead and export this data out. In fact, we're going to select all the students in that classroom. And we want to do a batch create, so we're going to create a batch with all of the students in it. And so once we do that, we are going to confirm this is the student set that we want. We have 24 students. And we can make larger student sets. We're just going to do one set at a time here. And we're going to select the data we want to print out. And this printout could be a digital printout, or it can be printed out once you've acquired your PDF. So we're not really interested in the student's personal demographic information for this particular profile or report. We are interested in the benchmark test data, and we do want detailed data. And we're looking at all tests that are taken this school year. Now, we can do this either by test or by standard. And right now, we're going to do it by test. And then once we've done that, we're going to configure the output and print. So we're not going to do classroom test data or standardized test data. We're only interested in our benchmark test data. And then we're going to configure output and print. And you can order by last name, school, homeroom if you're doing multiple reports. And right now I'm just doing the homeroom, and so it's going to, by default, be alphabetically A through Z. And we print that back to PDF. And it takes a couple of seconds, depending on how big or how robust your report is. It may take longer. The one that's by individual test will be far more lengthy, and so will require more time to pull that report as opposed to the one by standards. And so as that is going, we're going to go on over and look at what does that look like once it comes back. So here is one of the reports where I have taken out the student information, and this is what it looks like. It has the profile. The student's information is here, their ID number, and the elementary school is here. And then it actually goes through and says exactly how they did on each particular standard, how many points possible. Now, one of the things to note with this particular report right now, it does have our benchmarks mixed in with our Read to Achieve, and so you're going to see some numbers that don't seem to be multiples of 5, like our Read to Achieve assessments. Okay. The other type of assessment is going to the other type of report is where it's going to tell you exactly how they did on each assessment. So on this report, it does show how they did on each assessment. If you'll notice here, this is actually out of 7 pages, so it's a little more lengthy. It actually tells you each answer and each assessment, what day it was given on, or the day it was assigned to be given, the total score point, and then it will explicitly say the standard that was addressed at that time. If you have any questions, as usual, please feel free to give me a call. So again, let's go back and review. Okay, so again, we would go in and select, if we wanted to select a different teacher, and we go back to the screen, we'd simply say, I'm going to, so we're going to select the teacher and her class. And when we do that, her roster should pop up. We should be able to say that, and this is again, we're going to view by their benchmark results. We're going to export this out, batch create PDF. Students are there. There's going to be 23 students that are being printed. We select that we want benchmark test data, specifically what we want, so the detailed data, and we're wanting all the tests that have been taken, and we're going to review it by tests. It's probably what we're going to use for Read to Achieve, and then we would just configure output and print that, and you'll just have to wait for the report to print out.